Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness, Big Apple Ragedown. Today has been a somewhat stressful day for the good doctor. She has been anticipating this moment for a little bit now, especially after uh, making a marriage proposal to someone who quickly became very important in her life. And she is now on the cusp of that happening. She is arranging dishes together of Chilean sea bass, which is still piping hot, and arranging everything so it looks nice, and putting the platter covers over so they stay warm. She paces back and forth, and she goes into her room, to the bathroom, checks to make sure that her hair is looking good and that her makeup is looking good, and she keeps wondering, how's this going to go? Are they going to like each other? Are they not going to like each other? So many things putting her stomach in knots. But she goes back to the kitchen, makes herself a bit of herbal tea to try and help calm her nerves a little bit, and probably adds a little bit of bourbon to it to help calm her nerves even more before she waits. She waits for that the elevator to bring her first guest or companion, whichever it might be, up to the penthouse.
So is she given the same time to both of them? As in they're arriving at the same time?
Yes.
Or is she finessed it a little? Okay. How's Saoirse for punctuality?
She's normally pretty on time to things. So. She probably actually arrived a little bit early.
Okay. Rebecca would be exactly on time, so I'll let you arrive a little early.
All right. So, yeah, Saoirse would have been pretty nervous about this, so she would have just gotten there early just to get there. And so she'll arrive first. She'll greet Alexis.
Alexis will smile as soon as the elevator doors open, and she'll walk over and give Saoirse a hug and a kiss and just say, nervous tonight.
Me too.
Very.
She contemplated lying about it, but she's like, nah, me too.
Well, that's good. At least I know I'm not overthinking it. If it's in the air tonight, it's in the air tonight. But we'll get through it. Would you like some tea with bourbon in it?
I would adore that.
Okay. And she'll walk over and prepare a cup of tea and put a splash of bourbon in it and hand it over as she goes back to fretting.
Saoirse's thinking to herself, I'm Irish, you have to ask that question. She doesn't say that out loud. She just accepts the tea and begins to sip it.
And Alexis sits there and kind of staring off as she sips on the tea. And every moment that passes, that elevator chime doesn't ring from the doorman letting Rebecca up, because he knows her pretty well at this point. It's just another moment that knot gets a little bit tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter.
So Rebecca, who has no idea the pain and suffering she's inflicted on these two young people, rings the elevator door, like you hear the chime almost exactly as the hour turns. And assuming that she's let up, she soon appears at the top of the elevator, dressed comfortably, not she has a knack for dressing so that she looks clean and comfortable without overdoing it. And she is carrying a little bakery box. She grins when she sees Alexis and transfers the grin to Saoirse.
And Alexis will make her way over, and by way of greeting, just hug Rebecca, and offer to take the box for her.
She hands over the box and then shrugs out of her coat. And after giving Alexis as tight a squeeze as she can with her arms full of bakery box. I brought a cheesecake. I hope that's all right. I'm sure you have dessert, but
It's also a cheesecake, but cheesecake with cheesecake is never a bad thing.
it's not. Good evening, Saoirse. It's a pleasure to see you again.
It's a pleasure to see you again as well, Rebecca.
What's Saoirse's rage? Just so I remember.
It's 4.
Okay. Yeah, Rebecca's going to roll. Actually, what's Rebecca's willpower at right now? I should check that. I'm sure she's fine. She's fine. So she's going to roll to not look at all uncomfortable with the rage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me and Dice roll 1.
Just 2 successes. She is fine.
She good.
So she's going to glance at both of them as she's climbing out of her coat to see how they're doing. I can roll that. Sorry, my brain's like derp 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 derp.
Hashtag how you doing?
Yeah, right? Or I could just not.
Hey, at least it didn't backsass you.
It didn't. Is it done backsassing?
Oh, it'll backsass you if you type the wow.
Wow.
Whoa!
Well,
And none on Alexis. Great. So apparently Rebecca's predator sense is going off and she can read Saoirse's mind.
Right? That is almost a mind reading roll. That is exceptional success. You can definitely read everything that's on her face right now, which is
So how's she doing?
she's doing all right, actually. She's a little bit nervous, but for the most part, she's focused. She's trying to divide her attention between Alexis and Rebecca. You could definitely tell that she's completely in love with Alexis. That is written all over her face pretty much all the time. So,
Okay. It's fair.
so, but there's a little nervousness there, but she's trying to be people that are present.
Mm-hmm. And what is Alexis doing at the moment? She took the bakery box, and where'd she head with it?
She walks over to the counter where the silver coffee pot, after dinner coffee pot is.
Mm-hmm.
And she is setting the Rebecca's cheesecake next to the cheesecake that she had delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And they are both sitting side by side and looking very appetizing.
Can't have too much cheesecake. So she's going to head into the kitchen, and if there's like little stools at the bar, she will take one. Could I have a cup of tea?
Yes, you can. What would you like? I've literally, and she opens up the cabinet with a plethora of tea bags that she has never used. The one that only looks like it has anywhere is jasmine tea.
Don't worry, that'll change. Saoirse will drink all the tea.
She looks through and just points to the jasmine. That sounds delicious.
And she will pull out the jasmine and begin to prepare a nice cup of jasmine tea.
So, Saoirse, I feel like I know everything about you and nothing. Where are you from? Well, I knew that much, actually. She's mentioned it. But tell me more. What brought you over? What did you leave behind?
She contemplates that. Well, I didn't really leave that much behind. I moved over here shortly after I graduated university. I went to school for ancient history and cultural anthropology. I have a double degree.
Oh, that's wonderful. Did you have a focus?
Came up. Not really. I was thinking of going on to more school, but have other things that are getting in the way of that.
Oh. That's too bad.
It is what it is.
You have to forgive me. I am very much a fan of history. I'm interested to hear what caught your fancy. What it is you get passionate about.
She thinks about that for a moment. Well, that was very focused on oral traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Stories that are passed down from generation to generation. So that's kind of what got me interested in history as a whole, learning about where we came from and what got us to where we are today.
I see. So specifically, Irish history, yes?
Irish history, the history of Western Europe, as well.
Are you studying oral traditions in New York still?
She's like, she thinks to herself, in a way.
Rebecca's asking the question entirely innocently.
But she's like, I gotta think of how to word this. In a sense, not officially.
No. There's no need to do it officially to be effective. And there's no reason to pretend that modern oral history isn't just as important as ancient oral history. Though I suppose if the ancient stuff is what got you excited, but New York is a fantastic place to study that sort of thing, particularly unofficially. I believe in unofficial studies.
She'll smile.
So, what do you do instead?
Thinking how to answer that.
I'm gonna go ahead and have her.
Hard.
I know. She's gonna roll Peony again to see if she's making her uncomfortable. That's important, Rebecca.
Sure.
Oh, wow, that's not what I... I feel like my keyboard is just kind of doing its own thing. 2 successes. How's she doing?
She's not necessarily uncomfortable. She's just trying to using her words carefully. She's just very thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not like shifting around or anything like that. She's really just trying to think of how to say things without giving too much away.
Sure.
She's already told Alexis way too much information.
Fair enough.
I don't have a job at the moment. I've been helping out with family.
Sorry, what did she say right before that about the family?
She said, I don't have a job at the moment. I've been helping out with family.
Rebecca nods, slowly and kind of with sympathy, because that usually means that there's someone ill. But she doesn't pry.
Okay.
Well, I hope that that's fulfilling, or at least not terrible. It can be frustrating to be your age and not following the path that you planned on. Yes?
She nods at that. When in all actuality, she is following the exact path she planned on. Because she grew up knowing she was going to be Garu someday.
Sure. That's legit.
But she'll just nod and be like, yeah. I mean, some of her quote plans did get a little dashed. It's whatever. She'll. I came over here. My sister came over here before I did. She's a midwife.
Oh, wow.
So we're helping out our aunt and uncle. They're going to be having a baby soon.
Well, congratulations to them. That's very exciting.
She'll smile.
What about you? Do you want children?
Like, we just had this discussion. When the time is right, sure. Of course, there really never is a right time, is there?
No, I'm told there's not. She glances at Alexis to see whether this is uncomfortable territory.
It wasn't a question she was expecting over appetizers. She was like in the process of setting down these lovely looking tuna stuffed avocados.
Mm-hmm.
And as she says, you know, are you how do you feel about children and whatnot? Alexis just is like she's not like, you know, clearing her throat at anybody, but it was just like, huh, oh, we're here now.
That's fair. That's fair.
But she sets the dish down, and there's about 6 of these avocados.
Can I help with something?
No. I'm hosting.
Of course. You'll have to excuse me. I prefer the more intimate sort of hosting where everybody gets their hands dirty. But this is your night, and I'm well aware of how good you are at hosting. You don't have to prove anything, Alexis.
Who said I was proving anything?
Just make it sure.
Mm-hmm. And
She eyes her and raises an eyebrow. She's checking.
Isis just scrunches up her nose a bit with a smirk, and she takes a seat next to Saoirse. And she waits to see how Saoirse feels about stuffed avocados with tuna.
I was trying to think how Saoirse does feel about stuffed avocados with tuna. Tuna is not her preferred meat, but she'll eat it.
I mean, it's got
Let's see.
it's got avocado, it's got tuna. There's a little bit of lemon zest to it, a little bit of olive oil, some tomato in there, and some hard-boiled eggs.
Ooh.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, she'll eat it. I'm fairly sure that she likes it. She's not that picky of an eater. Even as she doesn't have strict carnivore or anything like that. So
It's definitely not
It's fine.
quinoa, so she can have a roll rate.
Just roll rage about quinoa?
Yes.
That's really funny.
Hell,
That's
Dallas
really
would.
funny.
Dallas definitely roll rage over quinoa.
Why is that?
God.
What is this? This is not food. This is food that my food eats.
That's really funny.
Anyway, yeah, Saoirse is fine. She's not eating that fast because she's a little nervous, but she's fine with the tuna stuffed avocados. Although she does think in her head that if it had bacon, that would be better. Oh. Bacon and everything.
That's funny. So what are we eating tonight, Alexis? This looks delicious.
Well, Chilean sea bass with a very authentic prepared rice.
What was the last word she said?
Rice.
Oh, rice. My brain is gone. Chilean sea bass. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. It was not easy to make, and I simply hope everyone enjoys it.
You made it yourself? Hang on. Rebecca's rolling. Rebecca's rolling this. Is it wit subterfuge? To spot a lie? Yes.
She didn't lie yet.
Yes.
I know. I'm just rolling before you say it. I mean, you can say it and then I'll roll if you prefer.
Oh, this could go so well or so poorly. Yes! I did actually make this myself.
I'm
She
so
kinda-
impressed. Rebecca sounds genuinely impressed because she thinks you actually made it, and she's genuinely
Okay, well,
impressed.
It's my turn to.
Oh no!
Because Saoirse's like, nah, I'm sus. She knows this woman never fucking cooks.
She orders out a lot. That's true.
Like, no.
She is her mother's daughter.
Oh, defender gets it though.
Oh.
That's funny.
Okay. Yeah, you're the defender, so she believes it. She looks impressed too. She's like, wow, all right then.
And yeah, she does a fairly good job of hiding her guilt over the fact that they both bought it.
As she should. She's lying for no reason.
She's self-conscious.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, she'll take a bite out of the avocado, realizing how good they actually are, and she kind of does that thing when she bites into it.
So where did you learn to make Chilean sea bass? Have you done much traveling? She's actually not baiting to catch Alexis in the lie. She's actually trying to give her an opportunity to talk about her world travels.
Well, I have been to Chile before. Argentina. I spent way too much time in Brazil, many times in a row for Carnival.
Ah, of course. That sounds amazing. What a fantastic opportunity.
Well, it was good most of the time, but traveling with your family is taxing sometimes, especially my family.
Oh?
Becca, you haven't met them yet. You've met Abby. Abby's wonderful.
But they're stressful.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Are they good travelers at least?
My father is extremely laid back. My mother is an itinerary adherent.
An itinerary adherent. What does that mean?
It means she turns into an inquisitor if we don't follow the itinerary.
Ah.
To better.
I see. And what about you? What sort of traveler are you?
Well, I went to Africa for a time, doing field work.
Where in Africa?
Hang on, out of character. I have to remember where she said she went. I don't remember. Vinny, do you remember where she said she went? I think it was Uganda.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. She's just gonna say somewhere in Africa where they do a lot of archaeology type things for looking at bones for anthropology.
Okay.
So it'll be one of those places. I think she said Uganda, but I'm not for certain. I'd have to go back and find the scene.
Okay.
But I need to remember to write this stuff down. She has eidetic memory, so she would not forget.
Probably the western coast, though. That's where the more famous digs are.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Rebecca nods and...
Yeah, I know.
Well, then we probably haven't shared too much common travels then. Most of my time was spent in the East. I'm sorry. I'm mixing them up. Out of character. The player's an idiot.
Oh.
Eastern Africa is a lot of the big digs. Western Africa is where Rebecca lived. So
okay. So,
I can't get my right together either. Sorry.
Mhm.
And are you the itinerary sort or the laid-back sort of traveler?
Yes, to both. I mean, if I don't need a schedule, then I'm just fine kind of going with the flow, but I don't mind following one. Um, so I think it's just dependent on the situation.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other, I suppose.
That's fair. And Alexis, which are you?
But
Like a feather floating around on an updraft.
Oh, yeah? You don't fret then. You're not a fretter.
Not about travel.
Interesting. That's
You
good to
you,
know.
you know me. You know me, and you know how I fret.
Mm-hmm. A lot. Which isn't a bad thing.
No, not necessarily, though it may give me a bleeding ulcer before I'm 40.
Hopefully you know how to avoid those sorts of things, right?
She just gets a smirk and she kind of gives that look of like, who do you think you're talking to here? But it's a playful look. It's not scornful.
She just shakes her head.
So, Saoirse, Rebecca is a doctor of science.
Uh, well, political science.
You still got your doctorate.
Yes.
that's very impressive.
Thank you. It's what I'm passionate about. But I've been told many times that neither of my specialties are appropriate dinner conversation. So I stick to safer things like travel, food,
Cats.
cats. She glances at Alexis and grins, and there's kind of an impish look to her expression. Children, that sort of thing. Do you like cats, Saoirse?
I don't mind cats too much, but like me that well.
That's too bad.
Alexis just sort of leans over and plants her chin on Saoirse's shoulder with just a love-drunk smile at that.
I'm gonna peony that expression.
And if it's Robbie, who's my one viewer right now, I don't care for cats.
4 successes.
4 successes. Alexis doesn't care for cats all
Alexis
that much.
doesn't care for cats?
Not all that
Okay,
much.
now I'm gonna have to roll something else. Hang on.
And this is when the imbued rolled for rage.
Mm-hmm. 2 successes.
I'll try.
Who doesn't? Mm-hmm.
I'll try.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That is not a nip subterfuge, is it? It's appearance subterfuge?
Yes. Appearance subterfuge? Or is that what we rolled to not look offended?
I have no idea, to be honest. Not at
It
1257.
doesn't matter. It's the same dice.
Um, 3 and 2 is 6, 10.
One success. You do not notice that Rebecca is sad and betrayed. How can you not like cats? She thought we were friends.
And they are friends. It's just every time she comes over, Milton wants to kill her.
Milton just wants to kill people. It's the door that's the problem.
Alexis will kind of smirk, and as she puts a kiss on the side of Circe's neck, she then walks over to like that area where her fax machine is in the far end of the kitchen. And she brings over a little packet, and she sets it down in front of Rebecca with a smile.
What's this?
Oh, since we're on the topic of pets,
She raises an eyebrow and goes to open the packet.
give me just 1 second to pull this thing up here. Okay, there it is. All right. It's a fair amount of paperwork that's been filled out, care contracts and the like, and a bill of sale. But this is what the picture shows.
Oh no, not another one. What is with you and these horrible, horrible furniture dogs?
I like big dogs, and I cannot lie.
Okay, Rebecca's gonna have to roll again. Because this is the second time that these monsters have showed up in her life.
Saoirse looks at the picture of this dog and she thinks to herself, that is actually not much smaller than I am. Fuck.
Oh no. She has 2 successes. Well, I guess you have room for it.
I have 4 successes.
With 4 successes, you see that there's, like, for some reason, the side of this giant fucking dog strikes kind of a painful chord with Rebecca. Because it's just like Mira's dog, except different colors.
Mira's dog was a puppy.
Uh-huh.
It was not that big.
Puppies don't stay puppies. I mean, is Lexus getting a grown dog?
Yes, she's buying a grown dog.
She's adopting. Huh. Okay. Even so, it's the same kind of like nothing but hair and kill. It touches something.
Well, she will reach over with that sort of that diplomatic smile, and then she will slide all the information over to Saoirse, because she actually hasn't showed this to Saoirse yet.
Got it. She'll be like, she'll think about it. She'll think, she did tell me she was gonna get a dog. She'll look it over. So is it come already trained then?
To an extent, but for it to really be a trained dog, I'm going to have to work with it. So, she shrugs a bit.
But it's got its basics out of the way though.
It's housebroken. Yes.
I
Oh,
can't
that's good.
imagine trying to housebreak something that size.
Well, you would
I was going to
housebreak
say
it.
if it's as a puppy, but not everybody is responsible that way.
So you don't mind dogs, Saoirse?
No, not really.
She
Um,
nods. And Rebecca's actually paying a little more attention because she's well aware why cats don't like Saoirse, but she's curious about dogs. So as Saoirse answers, Rebecca is listening.
my best friend has this great big, I think it's a Great Dane, and he's just kind of like, he's a bit lazy, but we get along all right.
Danes can be a bit lazy, which is good. God forbid something that size was running around tearing it up like.
If that something that big had the energy of like a little Jack Russell Terrier or something.
Mm-hmm. What about these, Alexis? I don't know the breed at all. What are their temperaments like? What is this dog like? I'm assuming you've met him, her, it?
I've Skyped with the owner. This is one that they had that they didn't sell. But from everything I'm told, he is great with kids. He is great with people.
Mhm.
And he's very well trained. It just takes a firm hand to make sure that they know the pecking order. And so that's what I have Saoirse for, because Saoirse's far more disciplined than I am. And she smiles.
I've seen you keep your friend in line before, Saoirse. How's he doing?
Her face falls a little bit.
Is that obvious? Do I
He,
need to roll to see?
No, you don't need to roll to see this.
Okay.
He recently
Sorry, what'd you say?
he passed away.
Rebecca's face freezes, absolutely horrified and grieving. She sits up. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear it. That's awful.
It was very sudden.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He was a fine young man.
Nah, I mean he was, but he was an asshole. Just kind of chuckle a little bit. There's a bit of fondness there. With that, she can probably tell that Saoirse and him had a few go-arounds. But she does seem genuinely, you know, sad that he's passed away. But
well, we won't have that chance to talk then. Sorry for bringing it up. I didn't know.
no, it's okay. It's fine.
Probably should have thought to tell you. Rebecca, just...
It's all right.
Sparkling grape juice?
Thank you. I would love some.
And she will take the little half-size bottle and pour Rebecca a glass to match the glasses that she pours for herself and Saoirse. I always felt bad all those times that I would drink wine and you wouldn't have a glass. So I hope that this is to your liking.
That's very sweet. Thank you. I spent most of my adult life in Egypt. Just most of my friends didn't drink. It's not. She's apologizing to Saoirse. It's not a.
Saoirse wasn't gonna pry, but yeah, just not something you ever got into.
No, exactly. She shrugs.
Saoirse, like, I can respect that. I mean, wasn't the biggest drinker growing up. Believe me, everybody drinks in Ireland. We always joke that babies are born with whiskey bowls in their mouths. But
I see.
I wasn't. I've never been. It's only been the last few months that I've kind of embraced my culture a little bit more.
Really?
Alexis interjects. It's mostly my fault. I'm at least a bottle a night person.
Rebecca glances at her, and Alexis is probably used to that kind of quick searching look from her when alcohol comes up.
She's going to point at Rebecca.
But she knows.
A certain amount of red wine is actually healthy for you on a daily basis.
I know.
Well, I don't actually drink every day.
Well,
and most of the time, unless I'm with Alexis, most of the time I drink it's whiskey.
Why whiskey?
Taste of home. It's the good whiskey that you get imported from Ireland. It's not the shite that they sell out here. And I came over here with, well, like I said, I met my sister. She came over before I did, and I brought my best friend with me. So there's a few of us, so we get together and drink and have a good time.
Well, I'm all about getting together. Just, it's still
family and friends are very important to me.
That's good. That's good. To me too. Particularly friends. I'm an only child.
Well, I use the term family, and to me, it's not necessarily your blood-related family. It's those that you've chosen to be your family. So you have those friends that you're really close to that you consider your family, and then you have your other friends. So that's friends and family to me.
She nods.
I'd have to say, if that's the case, I have a sister who's been a pretty good influence on me since meeting her.
Saoirse will smile.
She just looks over at Rebecca with a wink.
It's a funny thing, family. Friends are important. Family's important. People are Important. She's going to raise her glass in a toast to Alexis.
Alexis picks up her glass.
To the people we choose to find important.
To the people we choose.
Saoirse will pick up her glass. To the people we choose. She gives a bit of a look to Alexis when she says that.
Alexis just gets that smile on it with, again, those love-struck eyes, but otherwise, she keeps herself in check.
As does Saoirse.
She'll clink her glass together with Rebecca and Saoirse. So, why don't I go grab those plates of sea bass?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll step out. And she is going to specifically take her time to give those two time because she had that with Aiden. And now she feels it's only fair that Saoirse has it with her best friend.
Of course. Although I have a feeling it won't be quite so aggressive.
Not even close. Rebecca does not look in the least interested in being aggressive.
Threatening her.
As Lexus steps out. So, have you made plans for the actual wedding?
Not yet. No, not yet.
She nods.
I think we're gonna wait until I meet her parents. Kind of like, she gets a little nervous when she says that.
Oh, she worries a lot about them. It'll be all right. I'm sure they're lovely people. And you two seem strong enough to withstand it, even if they're abrasive or annoying. Yes?
She'll nod. We are. Know that to most people, it doesn't seem like we've known each other all that long, but when you just connect with someone the way that we have, the time doesn't matter.
You're looking forward instead of
Always forward.
trying. Is that the sort of person you are?
Indeed it is.
She nods. I can appreciate that. It's a difficult way to live. But for those who do it well, it's admirable.
There's a difference between appreciating the past and dwelling on it.
Well said. That's true. That's
You
true.
appreciate what's happened, where you came from, how you got there, but you don't dwell on it. You don't let it define you. You just continue to move forward, continue to grow and change with those around you. And I'm also one of those people that it's not the destination, it's the journey. I know that sounds
That's
a little
popular.
cliche, but
I'll admit I'm not necessarily that sort of person. I tend to be goal-oriented. Though I do
That's
like a
not to
journey.
that's not to say I don't have goals, because I do, and I've met
Of course.
several. But so many people focus too much on the outcome that they don't appreciate how they get there. and they don't look at what happens to get them there. And I find a lot of people repeat their mistakes that way because they don't actually look at what they've done. They just kind of do it, go through the motions because they're too focused on that end, that finality.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes, that's very true.
But anyway,
Are you worried?
About?
Marrying the child of such a visible politician could be very nerve-wracking.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. There's a lot there. I know that I'm probably going to, whether I want to be or not, be in more visible than I would like to be, but it's not a deal breaker for me at all.
She nods. Have you spent much time around politics in your life?
She's trying to. Probably more than I would like.
What does that mean?
You know, the IRA is still a problem in Ireland, and I actually went to Estonia not too long ago and got profiled for being a member of the IRA.
Oh. Intense.
That was it was.
That sounds terrifying.
But I got my name cleared. It was a typo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's easier to sort out than family ties, for instance.
Oh, for sure. And none of my family has ever been involved. But my best friend was killed by the IRA when he was a boy. So there's always been some level of politics involved.
It's amazing how quickly those sorts of things come home, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
But you're separated from that here, and that's a different sort of politics, I think, than the sort that Alexis's parents practice. I'm sure that
I've not been involved in that kind of politics.
Well, if you ever need help, if it's ever too much and you need... Sometimes it's difficult to talk to the people we love about their families. You have my number. I'll understand without worrying for your relationship. Sometimes it's hard to find people who will believe in your love even when it's difficult for you.
She nods.
Especially the people you've been friends with a long time.
I Aiden was pretty skeptical, but after he met Alexis and had a conversation with her, he's fine about it now.
Good. Good. I won't say it makes all the difference, but it certainly smooths the path.
She nods. She'll agree with that.
And her? Is she nervous about your family? Are you nervous about your family?
Well, really the only family to worry about is already here, so not really.
Already here.
My sister, my aunt and uncle, best friend, friends that I've made. That's about it.
By here, you mean they already know about her and it's gone fine?
As in, she's not gonna have to make a trek to Ireland to meet anybody.
Oh. I see. Yes, that's an absolute.
She hasn't met anybody. She hasn't. She's only met Aiden so far. She hasn't met anybody else.
She nods. Best friend and.
She will soon, though.
Well, good luck. I'm sure they'll love her. It's difficult to dislike Alexis.
Oh.
What was that, Benny?
Just the sound of my heart growing 3 sizes. Don't worry about me.
Aww. Well, I know that I certainly found her very easy to like.
Out of character, did Alexis tell her how they met? I don't know if she did.
I don't think so. And I think that would be a perfect time for Alexis to come back through the door.
As Rebecca asked, "How did you meet?" I don't think I've heard that story.
She sang to me at Battery Park.
Well, that was after we met in the bar.
Saoirse, darling. And I'm trying to play up and, hype up our first meeting. When you say it like that...
What? The conversation in the bar is important.
I mean, it is, but,
Is it?
I just lost somebody. Lost a lot of people lately, actually, now that I think about it. But I just recently lost someone very close to me. And was feeling rather down.
I see.
She noticed. She came and sat across from me at the table I was at. Struck up a conversation and convinced me to go for a walk with her. So I went, and then I sang for her in Battery Park. And drew quite a crowd, actually.
Drew quite a crowd. That sounds very exciting. No? Do you sing professionally then, or semi-professionally?
Shakes her head. I've just always had a very good voice.
Not many people can say that.
Alexis sets down the 2 dishes in front of the 2 of them and pulls the tops off to reveal the vapor trails. But as she sets the 2 things aside, she'll lean over Saoirse and wrap an arm about her and smile.
That smells delicious.
Her voice is intoxicating.
Oh, intoxicating. She's waiting, giving her a chance to elaborate. Are you saying you weren't in your right head?
Huh. No. And she just puts a kiss on Saoirse's cheek as she stands up. she'll have to sing for you at some point so you can understand. It's one
Will
thing
you?
it's one thing to tell. It's another thing to show. And she'll skip off to the kitchen to grab the last plate.
I can't after dinner.
Oh, I would love it. That would be wonderful. Yes, I'd like that very much.
She'll smile and nod.
Is that a family thing? Did you grow up singing? Church or...
It's one we pass down our traditions. Your song.
She nods.
And spiritual in a sense.
In a sense?
Not like ancient traditional sort of, it's like a form of druidism, I guess.
I see, really. I would love to hear more. I won't-
Celebrate all the major high days, the solstice and the Samhain's coming up.
I won't pry if it's not something you'd like to talk about, but it is what I've studied. It's something that fascinates me and that I like to hear about. And if there's anything that's difficult to learn more about, it's religions with oral traditions. Without asking, there's no learning. So I hope you won't think that I'm prying or
Oh, no, of course not.
too nosy. And the rest of your family, they also practice.
For the most part,
Oh, that's wonderful. I've always wondered what it would be like to grow up in a household practicing the old religions, particularly in a modern context.
my family is one of those that survived the
Sorry, you cut out? Survived the what?
the Christian invasion.
She nods slowly and interestedly because there's a lot behind that statement, and she doesn't want to touch on. She's trying very hard to be thoughtful and courteous of what is an inappropriate dinner conversation, but the curiosity is fierce.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't have anything against Christians. I just happen to not grow up that way.
Alexis's eyebrows go up a little bit.
Oh, do I need to peony that?
Probably not. It's not in a oh, this is a revelation. It's just, Alexis wears a cross pretty prominently. More often than not, but it's just that I know at least one that she likes, for sure.
Oh yeah. I'll say I'm of the opinion that people can practice whatever they want as long as they're not trying to step on people's toes or whatever. You know, but I grew up not talking about it a lot because, Ireland is a very Catholic country.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can see that being a difficult topic to bring up around your friends.
I did learn about Catholicism enough to keep up with the conversation.
Absolutely. And I'm sure if you were studying Irish history,
Oh,
it plays an important role.
it certainly does. And
She knows.
I definitely appreciate the history, and like I said, I'm not one of those bitter pagans. I'm actually. She'll say, she's trying not to sound arrogant or anything, but she's like, I consider myself to be a decently tolerant person.
Rebecca nods her approval.
I mean, obviously, she just kind of points to Alexis, like,
a dubious narrowing of the eyes, just because it could mean so many things, and she's going to take it as it could mean so many things.
Saoirse gives her a playful look, like, I bet we're going to talk about this later.
She just chuckles to herself after that. And, well, on the heels of that conversation, at least, Alexis doesn't feel at all ashamed about throwing or putting out her hands towards Rebecca and towards Saoirse as she goes to lower her head.
Oh, Saoirse will participate in this for sure.
Rebecca looks amused. She takes the hands and also lowers her head.
And Alexis says grace and, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. And she crosses herself, knowing she'd probably be the only one at the table that does it, but that doesn't bother her.
Amen.
And Saoirse will say amen.
And then Alexis waits because she wants to see people eat her food that she made.
Rebecca tries it.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm assuming it's catered from the finest establishments.
Would you expect any less from Miss
No.
Extra?
No. Oh, this is wonderful. Alexis, this is wonderful.
Isn't it?
My compliments.
This is fantastic. You'll have to teach me how to make this.
Well, I have to keep some secrets from you. She smiles.
I thought we agreed no secrets. Kind of narrows her eyes at her.
I never said anything about these kinds of secrets.
Okay, so now it's only... Okay, how it is.
Rebecca is
very playful.
going to roll something. Oh, nope, maybe I'm not.
You gotta find the right dice roller.
Am I in the wrong dice roller? Oh my gosh.
No, you're in the right dice. You're in the right dice roller. Ma is typing.
This is Manip sub. 2 successes.
Oh.
Okay, so Alexis sees when Saoirse says we agreed no secrets, Rebecca's eyes glance towards Alexis, and there's a little tiny quirk of her eyebrow and a little tiny twitch of her mouth. They're very subtle. Too subtle for Saoirse to see, but Alexis notes the worry there.
Alexis plays it cool, and she just kind of reaches out and sort of gently takes Saoirse's hand and gives it a squeeze as she looks over at her with a very content smile. But you're right. When you enter into someone's world, and I'm paraphrasing Rebecca's words, you can't keep your two lives separate.
Rebecca glances at Saoirse.
Saoirse smiles and nods. Can?
I don't know if Rebecca would like to roll Peony, but she can.
She does want to. She does. I just have 6 dice for everything on this character. I love it. Makes everything so much easier.
Just bragging about everything I don't have.
What?
I said, just keep bragging about everything I don't have. God.
Unfortunately, I can't type to save my stupid life. No, I'm just give up.
It's a D.
Bedtime.
Not enough.
How is it? I just want it so much. I want it so much. Why can't I just roll the damn dice? 5 successes. Bam.
Wow.
Oh man. Jesus.
When she said it.
I like you.
When she said it, it was very clear that she was taking some pride in the fact that she took Rebecca's advice and is now openly displaying that in front of her.
Oh. Rebecca's not going to sleep for a week.
Oh no!
Oh no.
She's just going to worry about you two until her hair falls out.
Oh.
But she gives Alexis a look that is proud and worried and just for like 2 seconds, proud and worried and affectionate.
And Alexis, as they're eating and whatnot, she never talks with her mouth full. She waits for a minute, and strategically she says, Saoirse, when we do have the ceremony, I'm gonna need a maid of honor.
Rebecca's brow raises.
So perhaps the ulterior motive of having you come over might be a little bit more clear. And she'll look over at Rebecca with a very warm smile.
I see. That would indeed be an honor.
Abby will have some complaints, but she will just have to get over it. She gives Rebecca this very, very warm smile.
Are you sure to take your sister's place? You should certainly consider your family's other reactions before you confirm. I won't be offended either way.
Rebecca, believe me, there's one person I know in this world, up, down, left, right, in and out, is a person that I spent 9 months with inside another person's body.
Hmm.
She will only get huffy because she has to.
Because she has to. I see. How interesting. Your sister sounds like a very interesting person.
You have no idea. Both of them.
Saoirse looks like she has a thought cross her mind, and she just chuckles out loud.
Rebecca glances at her to see if she'll share the joke.
So, my best friend Aiden, he's quite character, and I bet if I told him that he's going to be my maid of honor, he'd even wear a dress.
Alexis chokes a little bit on her risotto.
She's just giggling over this idea of Aiden in a dress.
It's going to be hard enough to get us into a church. Oh.
Sorry, both the player and the character are dying over this idea.
Torna would fucking do it in a heartbeat too. That's
I know he
the
would.
whole thing.
I know. I know he would.
Can we at least compromise on him wearing a suit? I mean,
I'm happy to
we
wear a
just have-
suit if you're concerned about the aesthetics. I'm sure we could make it match.
Talking about
I look
making him
fantastic in a
conform
suit.
talking about making him conform to his to gender stereotypes, making him wear a suit.
Alexis is aghast and properly scandalized. Miss O'Brien.
They're just dying. She don't even care. What? Oh, have I offended you, Alexis?
She
She's gonna lean over and she's gonna whisper into her ear, "I'll make it up. See you later."
she'll kind of go back and right, grumble, grumble, grumble.
She'll nibble her earlobe very discreetly.
It's very difficult to nibble someone's earlobe discreetly. Very
I
difficult.
know, but she's gonna try.
Rebecca concentrates on her sea bass, looking amused.
Alexis will blush just a little bit as she's not sure how Rebecca feels about public displays of affection.
She doesn't look particularly fussed.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's comforting.
Not even in public, so whatever.
Maybe that's fair. But yeah, she takes a few more bites. She'll look over at Rebecca. Now, I should warn you. If I start to become a bridezilla, you need to check me before I wreck me.
Oh my god, that's right. This wedding's gonna be chock full of werewolves. It's gonna be amazing.
Right? I know. In a church, even.
Rebecca glances between them, considers Alexis's words, and she's just gonna crack her knuckles. Well, I will say that there's a unique pressure when both of the parties getting married are female. I think you can trust me to check you before you wreck you. And your sister may not be up to the task. I shall have to accept the honor that you have offered me.
Saoirse grins.
Rebecca is now going to spend a lot of attention on her sea bass while she tries desperately not to think about what Bridezilla entails when the bride is a werewolf. She focuses so hard on this risotto.
I'm going to say, for the sake of roleplay down the line, that Alexis doesn't notice this. I don't care if it's meta. I am not robbing anybody, viewer or player, of that experience.
Oh my god, I think... Is Robbie watching?
He could be. There is one viewer.
Hang on, I have to PM the ST.
Oh, Lord.
I don't even know if Mr. Morrison is awake right now.
Robbie. It's toss-up, honestly.
No, he's not. Okay. It's probably for the best. Rebecca will not do the thing. Yes.
Oh, I'm interested now, but I'll leave it be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's
as the risotto and sea bass are finished respectively, Alexis will gather the plates, and she will take them over to the sink. She will place them in there, and she'll begin to wash them. And while she's letting the water run, she will bring over the tray with the fancy coffee pot.
The cheesecake?
Cheesecake will come after she's done washing the dishes.
I want cheesecake so bad in real life. I really want it.
You gotta have the coffee first.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alexis pours Saoirse and Rebecca each a cup of coffee, and then sets out the cream and sugar in between the two of them, and gives them more time to converse on their own.
It does sound extra good. So, what are you thinking for the wedding? I suppose this is a reasonable time to ask. It's far enough out that you hopefully aren't stressed quite yet. I hope.
Not quite.
You've mentioned him a few times. Is Aiden going to be your maid of honor?
Probably.
Loosely. Translated. You know what I mean. I'll have to meet him at some point.
You will.
If you'll pass my number on to him, I will be more than happy to take him to lunch sometime.
I'll definitely be sure to do that.
She nods. And have you started planning your honeymoon? Did I get out?
No. She's I'm trying to think out of character if they have. I don't think that they talked about it.
Alexis hasn't made mention of it just yet.
Yeah, no. Not yet. We haven't talked about that yet.
Alexis will shout out from the sink, "Anywhere you want to go."
Anywhere, huh?
As long as it's not Jersey.
Before I can even get it out of my mouth.
Is Jersey a particular love of yours?
No, it's a joke. She just doesn't like the place.
What do you have against Jersey, Alexis?
Have you been there?
Yes.
Well,
I'm just interested to hear you say it.
Then you know. need like 2 showers every time I come back.
Oh dear. That's a lot of showers.
Look, I am not the only one that thinks she smells a certain way.
I want to see more of the United States, so I might make her go someplace like Kansas.
Oh dear, for your wedding. For your honeymoon, I hope not. Oh dear.
She's clearly joking. Um,
Oh thank goodness. Becca's like,
the look
not
on her face. No, I know better than to go to Kansas.
have you been?
Maybe
There are
I've not
interesting
been
parts
there,
of
no,
Kansas.
but I've heard stories.
You've heard stories about Kansas. I'm interested in those
Indeed.
stories.
Oh, none of them are good, I assure you.
Oh. That's too
And
bad.
apparently, well, actually, I don't know if this is good or not. Apparently, you can walk down the street with a gun just out
Mm-hmm.
for anybody to see. Like, not even a little gun either, a big one like a shotgun. You shoot people and get away with it.
Honey, technically, we could go just, 4 hours down 95 and go into that joke of a state, Virginia.
If you want to see guns in the street, is that what you mean?
I did some research recently. Their laws are terrifying.
Rebecca nods. She has done similar research recently. And the thought of it makes her uncomfortable. So she just nods. How do you feel about firearms, Saoirse?
I don't use them personally, but I'm not against them.
Rebecca nods and finds her face has a bit of a struggle for a moment. Because no, you wouldn't use them personally if you were a werewolf. No, that's definitely a fair thing to say.
I mean, she was with a glasswalker, so she learned to tolerate guns.
Oh
But
goodness. I've been learning, practicing with a firearm a little more lately. In the interests of getting back on the horse, I suppose.
she'll nod.
Though I don't know if I'll ever be entirely comfortable with them. I'd prefer not to be, really.
I don't think it's ever a good idea to be comfortable with a gun.
How so?
I think if you get comfortable, you lose respect for the weapon and what it can do.
What an interesting way to say it. Would you say the same for something like a sword or a knife?
I'd say so. If it just becomes mundane part of your day to day, you get desensitized to it.
Not that. I don't think I could ever be that. I hope not. I think I'd worry more about it becoming a crutch. Emotional and otherwise.
There's that too. You rely on it, and you get to where you can't function without it.
Yes.
There's that too.
Alexis comes back with 3 slices of cheesecake.
Yes. Both of us are like, yes, cheesecake.
Bring that over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you lovely woman.
And there's a bit, it's like 2 half slices. Half slice of what Rebecca brought, half slice of what she bought. So it's like
Oh,
this
you extra lovely woman.
Yes.
Little Miss Extra.
You're right. You are right.
Alexis Fairfax, the John Hammond of LWoD. Sped, no expense.
It stands to mention that for as tiny as Saoirse is, she's 5'3" and looks like she weighs maybe like 110 pounds. Has had no problems eating everything that has been put in front of her.
That's funny. That's funny. That's fair. I'm going to say Rebecca notices that because that's the sort of thing that she would notice and pay close attention to.
Size would probably, not eat as much as Saoirse has eaten. And Saoirse probably didn't even realize how much she was eating either because it's just normal for her.
Uh-huh.
So she's just
Does it seem like it's become normal for Lexus? Does Lexus seem like she's noticed?
What, that Saoirse can pack it away?
Mm-hmm. Like, does it seem like Alexis was prepared for it? Did she cook adequately? That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Rebecca notices and approves.
I'm pretty sure since they started going out, Alexis noticed that, man, she eats a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
that's fine with me. I like food too. I also happen to enjoy food.
She eats a lot and never seems to gain any weight at all. Like, nope, not an ounce.
Now Alexis orders from Amazon Fresh not once a week, but twice a week.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
But yes, Alexis just kind of observes the two just to kind of gauge how the two of them are getting on. And I think what I'm going to have her do, she's going to make 2 peony rolls.
Okay.
God, I hope I don't botch these.
Please don't botch these.
Oh, no.
Alexis will have
that
to.
Would be bad. Because then you'll think that they hate each other, and that would be bad.
That's 1 success for Rebecca. Not 5D120s. And 2 on Saoirse.
Rebecca looks comfortable and friendly, and yeah, she seems pretty much at ease and watching Saoirse with maybe a little bit of a fondness that is probably not necessarily earned by Saoirse yet, but a lot to do with her fondness for Alexis. Not because Saoirse's been bad, but just,
Oh, yeah. But Saoirse, she looks fair at ease as well. Friendly. She looks like she's having a good time. She's relaxed a lot from the beginning of the night to now.
And it's at that point where Alexis actually like visibly lets all the tension out. Like she was poised before, but now she is relaxed to the point where instead of sitting upright, she actually kind of sits back in her seat a bit and puts one leg up over the other as she sits back with with her cup of coffee.
Rebecca sees that that tension go out and marks it and offers her a smile. Sorry, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, she just kind of makes that happy sort of sigh as she sees the smile.
Aw. Fair enough. Well, thank you both for the honor. Alexis, you have outdone yourself. The food is delicious. I'm so impressed. I look forward to seeing more of you, Saoirse.
Saoirse will smile and nod. And you as well.
I know Alexis has plans to become very involved in the city. Really put down some roots. Yes? Have I said it right?
Alexis nods.
Well, I don't plan on going anywhere, so.
That's good. Are you a public servant type? Sorry, did I cut out? Oh, good. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. Saoirse will reach over and take Alexis's hand.
Alexis kind of gives it a squeeze and smiles. I want to do what I can to make the city just a little bit better. For everyone. Not just us, all communities. Over many different demographics. And when she says all communities, she very covertly gives Saoirse's hand a squeeze.
Saoirse
Rebecca
smiles.
watches kind of surreptitiously. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
May the road be smooth.
A few bumps here and there, okay.
Good. It's much too early in the process to be daunted.
Oh, I'm sure I'll get daunted about something at some point. A job or hobbies and other pursuits.
She nods. Daunted is all right. You know, I won't judge daunted. As long as it doesn't stop you. Well, I should be going. I have an early day tomorrow.
She'll nod. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
nice to actually sit down and get to know you a little bit.
Very. Very. She gives her a smile, and as she pulls herself to her feet, she's going to offer her a hug.
She will stand up and give her a hug.
Good night to both of you. And then she's going to go and give Alexis a hug, too, because...
Of course.
Alexis gives Rebecca back a hug that's probably tighter than any other hug she's given her before.
Aww.
I'm not saying something, because they've shared some serious hugs before. But this one, she actually holds on to it for a little bit.
Rebecca holds her tight. Not too tight so that it will make things awkward for Saoirse.
It's a very friendly hug.
Saoirse don't care.
Oh.
Not like Alexis is reaching around to grab a cop a feel or anything. Jesus.
Right? No, she knows that they're friends. She don't care. You should see some of the hugs she gives Aiden. Jesus.
But
That's legit.
as she pulls away, she just she gently kind of bumps her forehead to Rebecca's before stepping back, and she'll go grab Rebecca's coat, bring it to her, and walk her over to the elevator. And when they're a little ways out of earshot, because Alexis still hasn't picked up on the fact that Saoirse has incredibly good hearing.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
actually gonna go ahead and roll my perception alertness for acute hearing, because yeah,
Go for it.
Saoirse has 3 acute senses.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she has acute hearing, vision, and smell.
Wow.
I will hear everything. I'll hear pretty much everything. I got 4.
Okay.
So as Alexis presses the call button for the elevator, and she stands there with Rebecca, she kind of pulls her arms behind her back and grabs or interlocks her wrists, and she starts to kind of sort of sway back and forth on her bare foot.
Mm-hmm.
And she bites her lip as she smiles at Rebecca. So?
So? She's lovely.
And that's all Alexis needs. And
Have a good night.
you too. Text me when you get home, all right?
Of course.
And
I can't wait to see what you're going to do to that massive dog.
I'm going to bring him over.
Oh, Alexis, with the cats.
They'll love him, I'm sure.
I'm sure. She says and doesn't sound at all sure.
And she'll give Rebecca just one last hug.
And Rebecca heads out.
And as the door shuts, Alexis walks back over, and she just sets herself onto the stool next to Saoirse, and rests her head on Saoirse's shoulder. So, what do you think?
I like her. Didn't know how much she knew, so it was kind of hard to answer some of the questions, but I got through it.
I have secrets from her, don't worry.
She nods.
I'm glad. Glad you like her. I'm glad you like each other.
Me too.
So I couldn't help but notice that Stranger Things Season 2 came out today. And we have a lot of cheesecake.
So do you want to binge on cheesecake and Stranger Things?
Yes, I do. A lot.
All right. We can do that for sure.
And I think there we can end our scene. Thank you,
Yes.
players, for playing. Thank you, our one watcher, for watching. This has been another scene for Living World of Darkness, Big Apple Ragedown.